Episode 9 of Shogun, titled Crimson Sky, picks up 14 years earlier, where we see a pregnant Mariko kind of going through this snowy, vast landscape, and she is kind of going to her death. But as she's walking along this snowy, vast landscape, she is found and then taken into solace by Father Martin and kind of the faith that he practices. And we see that this is a big thing for Mariko now. And this series, if you haven't noticed up until now, and it's really shows that Mariko's story is the main focus of this entire series, and it's really good to see. Now we are back in the present, and we see Yabushigi, Blackthorn, and Mariko going to Osaka, to the Osaka castle where Yoshido and Lady Ochiba are. But kind of in a way, Mariko does not tell Blackthorn what her true intentions are of being there, and she doesn't say anything of why she is there. Even Yabushigi's like, okay, what's going on? What's happening? So as that's progressing, you can tell that Yabushigi doesn't like going to Osaka. He kind of in a way says he hates the city, and he has no idea just how much he's going to hate it as the episode goes on. The episode is an hour and 1 minute long. It's a very long episode, but it progresses into a mixture of interesting actual storytelling that is mind-blowing. Now, we see Kiri, Shizu, and Toranaga's new son, members of the noble family, kind of live there as guests who can't leave. So you could say they're prisoners to Yoshido, but they're not technically prisoners in a way. You see Yabushigi and Blackthorn have their first attempt to resolve the issue as ordered by Toranaga-san. Toranaga's apparent surrender rings false to some of those aspects of what is actually truly going on, and they have no idea what they're doing. So Yabushigi and Blackthorn have a kind of meeting with Yoshido, and he's willing to listen to the aspects of what is happening, and Yoshido's just sitting there going on and on with everything, as long as the idea gets kind of a proper airing. And Yabushigi was like, let me give you Blackthorn as kind of a gift. He's a good sailor and he's well trained, but he does not like this at all. Yoshido does not want this. And then we see that Mariko gets her audience with Yoshido, and we see Lady Ochiba, finally that connection after all these years, and we know they were friends and they grew up like sisters. And it's kind of an interesting take, because before getting to kind of the heart of what it is, Mariko engages in a strange small talk with Yoshido, whom she informs that Toranaga is still mourning the death of his son, and almost kind of makes her abandon her interesting demeanor, so to speak, because she's very calm, she's very centered, but Yoshido does have some right-left throwback responses, and Lady Ochiba's like, okay. She then turns her attention to her friend, Lady Ochiba, who is now Yoshido's new fiance, if you didn't know, after the recent events of the previous few episodes. Ochiba recalls their time as girls and having poetry competitions in which they both participated in, and then he tells her that they will participate in a poetry competition in the Daimyon's memory. But she's like, no, I don't want to, but you can choose the first line, and Mariko doesn't hesitate, and kind of in a way says, the snow remains veiled in the haze of cold evening on a leafless branch. Now, this does not have any moment or any meaning at the time, but it does near the end of this episode. Mariko then kind of goes into the reasoning of why she's there. She's basically a simple request, and we find out her true intentions of why Toranaga sent Mariko with Yabushigi and Blackthorn. Basically, she would like to leave Osaka and Yoshido's court, taking Kiri and Shizu with her to meet Lord Toranaga the next day. And Yoshido's like, no, that's not happening. And Mariko's like, you know what? No, I'm going to still do what I have to do. Blackthorn and Yabushigi trying to convince her not to do that. It's the next morning. Kiri and Shizu go with Mariko. Mariko has her men with her. They go, but then at the gate, the fortress gate, front gate, they're stopped by Yoshido's guards. And the first batch, boom, gone, dead instantly by the guards that are guarding Mariko. And then they go to the next gate. Okay, and then it's an all-out war. And she's standing in the middle, and everyone's just fighting around her, while everyone up top of the gate is looking down. Lady Ochiba, she's like everybody's watching, you know, and she then in a way kind of fights off these men in a way, but they're overpowering. So with that, she kind of says that, you know, since I didn't fulfill my duty to the Lord Toranaga-san, I will end my life at sunset. So she's going to commit seppuku. Now, kind of in a way, it's the aspect of the disapproval and the what is going on. We then see Mariko going through strange aspects, and kind of the Lady Ochiba calls Lady Mariko and Blackthorn to a kind of little talk, and then kind of reminiscing about it, and Lady Ochiba says, I have no real kind of power here. She starts crying, and the whole aspect is like with Lady Mariko's son, like he doesn't want to be her son because of the negativity and the dishonor that is felt in the family. I mean, it's just really interesting and weird, and Mariko kind of goes to Father Martin in the last confession, but then he doesn't agree with Mariko's kind of portrayal of what's going on. And Blackthorn acts out by kind of slashing a kind of aspect into a garden. He does something in the garden. Then when the moment arrives, just as Blackthorn steps to fill in for the absent Kiyama as Mariko's second, when she commits seppuku, she stabs herself, and then you gotta cut off the head. All of a sudden, Yoshido arrives with a message. Yeah, here's the pass. You can leave. Here's the permit. You can leave along with your people, Kizi, and whatever. And Lady Ochiba, in the few scenes before, it said that to the council and Yoshido. So it's like, okay, what is going on? What is happening? So as that's going on, it's a happy ending in a way to a kind of interesting, stressful day. But then nightfall, and we see that Mariko spends her night with Blackthorn. But then, in a turn of events, Yabushigi once again is playing both sides. And we see that shinobi come to attack or come after Lady Mariko. And let me tell you that as the events are going on, we see a big battle, we see a big fight. In the previous episodes, we knew what Crimson Sky was. Toranaga-san explained what Crimson Sky was going to be. It's not expected of what this was in this episode. The entire series has been building toward this episode, and it showed, because Lady Mariko's past is the one that's kind of has a big kind of hold on everyone. And the ending in this was interesting, but I didn't actually like it because of what Lady Mariko went through in the previous few scenes of her almost committing seppuku, Blackthorn doing the deed in honor of cutting off her head, but then stopping, and then how this ended. Very, very interesting of what's going on. And then kind of, the episode ends in an eye-opening moment. It's like, holy shit, did that really just happen? Leading to the events, I'm pretty sure, of what's going to happen in the series finale of episode 10. This series is mind-blowing. It's very, very well written, very, very well acted. I see every single actor, actress in this series being nominated for a slew of TV awards. Definitely Hiroyuki Sanada for playing his role as Toranaga. Anna Sawai as Lady Mariko will definitely win a few awards. Tadanobu Asano as Yabushigi might. But it kind of is a strong episode with acting which is through the eyes, the emotion, the stress. It's very, very well written, as I said. And shows like this are very, very rare. And even though this is kind of the new show of the 2024 year, I will say, and I probably will be, this is my #1 show of the year. If you've read the book, if you've seen the original series with Richard Chamberlain, and then you watch this, you'll see how much time, effort, the aspect, the look, the set design, the feel, the minute details that went into making this show is. It's absolutely mind-blowing and brilliant. I love the pacing. I love the thing. It makes you go like, wow, what is going on? Very, very heartbreaking moments, very surprising moments. And if a show does that, then it's a really, really good show. Especially where Toranaga is not even shown in this episode. But I feel like in episode 10, he's going to, things are going to happen. And I'm curious to see what's going to happen and how Blackthorn will kind of go along with what happened and the ramifications of the events that led to that, and what he will do about Yabushige and Yoshido, and how everyone will take this kind of loss in a different way, because everybody will, and it's just going to be interesting to see how everyone does. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about episode 9 of Shogun, titled Crimson Sky. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? What did you think about the pacing, the acting, the storytelling? Did you think and did you know that this entire series or this story was focused on Lady Mariko? Or did you just find out now after watching this episode and me reviewing it? Did you like what was happening? Did you like how everything transpired? And what do you think is going to happen in the series finale of Shogun? Let me know in the comment section below about all the questions I just asked, and be sure you click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell for new review videos on my channel. I'll see you all in the next review video. I'm Mr. Filmstock. Thank you so much for tuning in, and be sure you tune in next week for my episode 10 series finale review of Shogun.